brings tests and trials. And let me explain that. A test, when you were in school, how long did a test last? 30 minutes? Maybe an hour? You know, let's just say maybe 30 minutes to an hour. When you were in school, high school, you got a test, maybe 30 minutes to an hour, okay? So a test is like, okay, I got a headache. You know, that's a short test, you know, or I got cramps, you know, or, you know, I'm just really tired, you know, or, you know, you're, good one. You're waiting in the parking lot at the grocery store for a parking space and your blinker is on. And the people put their groceries in the car, they get in, and they back out, and here come a car, see your blinker, knowing you waiting, but they'll jump right in there in front of you and get that parking space. Have that happened to anybody besides me? Now, there was a time when I got out my car and said, you know, you saw my blinker, and you saw me waiting. This is my parking space. And I would confront them and get my parking space. Oh, well, I didn't, yes you did, you saw me here. I know I was out there, but I don't do that now. But I used to. I used to. Now, you know, that's a test, and I've learned that it's a test that the enemy brings. And so I'm like, okay, Father, I think you for a better parking space, a closer parking space, and I go on. There was a time I used to cut folks off when they would cut me off, and I'd drive up. I think I told y'all about that one time. They cut me off and slow up, and oh no, you don't. You know, I just felt like you ain't gonna get the best of me. And I'd speed up and go around and jump in front of them and then slow up. Like they can run in the back of my car or anything, but I'm like, you ain't doing that to me. You know? That was a test that I didn't pass. And you don't pass the test, you're going to keep taking the test over until you pass it. And that's probably why I went for some years jumping back in front of other folks, trying to cut them off because I did not pass the test. So once it was ministered to me, because my husband told me one time, he said, honey, he was in the car with me, he said, oh, you shouldn't do that. I forgot he was in there, because when that happens, I just go into you know, sometimes the things happen, you go into another zone, and before you know, it's like, oh, did I say that? Did I do that? So he was in the car with me on the Pasadena freeway one time, and I zoned out, and I did it. He looked at me and said, honey, you shouldn't do that. Well, she swore and jumped in front of me, and we went back and forth, and I thought, you know what? They can have a gun, they can pull a gun out, they can just bang anything, and I'm just out there. So I started praying and asking the Lord to help me in that area. Because see, that was a test that I was not passing for some years. Now I passed that test, thank God. So now when they do that, okay, and I just go on. But see, that's a test. That's a 2-minute test, 3-minute test. Okay, test. My point is, tests are short. Okay, tests are short. The parking space, that's a test. That's short. Okay, but a trial is long. A trial can go 2 years, 5 years, 10 years. You know, we have sometimes these big time people on TV. You hear something that happened, they're going through a trial, like OJ. I don't remember how long this trial was, but you know, it was a long trial. You know, trials are much longer than tests. So when God said that you will have tests and trials, okay, remember the test. Come on now, you can ace the test. You can ace the test. It's short. You can ace that. The trial takes a little more patience and a little more endurance. Amen. Because God is working something out of me. God had to work something out of me from jumping in front of folks. You know, when they jumped in front of me, he was working something out. When folks was taking my parking space, and you knew I was sitting there waiting on that parking space. You saw my blinker, and you just did that anyway. God had to work with me. He was working something out. What is God working out in you? See, that was a trial. What trial are you going through that God is working out? That you're still going through it. It's a reason why you're still going through it. See, I wasn't speaking the word. But once I started speaking the word and asking God to help me, and I started saying, Lord, I think that I have the victory over this. It took a little while, but I got the victory over it. Amen. So whatever situation that you're in, because you have your Father's DNA in you, you can ace the situation. You can ace whatever it may be. You know how some